everybody. We got a great episode of the Jersey Baseball Show for you today. We are in the middle of our Generation Next 2.0 series. We are taking a big look at some of New Jersey's up-and-coming future college stars in the 2022 and 23 classes. And we are happy today to welcome in North Brunswick High School, ZACK Konstantinovsky. ZACK, welcome. And, like Central Jersey so much that it looks like you're sticking around for a few years after high school.
Yeah, gotta represent New Jersey, build it up.
That's right. That's right. So if we don't know, and hopefully most of you do, but ZACK is a 2023, so he's got another year of high school still. Hasn't signed anything official yet, but he is part of what looks like it's going to be a fantastic 23 class at Rutgers at the State University, playing some Big Ten baseball under the direction of Coach Owens and Coach Monahan. Pretty exciting stuff. And why don't you tell us, I guess you will always remember the day you committed and what date it was too, right?
Yeah, so I committed on my dad's birthday, August 19th of 2020. It was been speaking to Rutgers at that point for about 6 to 8 months, and it's kind of everything fit, everything that I felt I needed in a college and a baseball program. Everything fit at Rutgers, and I was confident, my family was confident to make that decision, and we went for it.
Yeah, so I guess first of all, tell us what it was that, sold you on Rutgers in addition to it being close, right? You got a lot of
Yeah.
family in the area, and I feel like COVID has sort of shifted things for people where like it's kind of cool to be closer to home again and be somewhere where family can watch pretty easily, not just on TV because everything's on TV anymore.
Yeah.
But more than that, because Rutgers has always been close. It's pulling in some great recruiting classes now. So what was it that was the deal kind of sealer for you?
Well, I mean, family was huge for me, obviously, wanting my family to watch me close to home. But I felt like I had someone on the Rutgers team at the time, Eric Reardon, who was able to talk to me a lot. And one of the things I liked about the coaching staff was they were a lot younger, or especially Coach Monahan that I've been talking to. I was a lot younger, so it's easier to relate and talk to him. That was a big plus. And I felt like I wanted to represent my state of New Jersey and kind of build that program up with the other guys coming into Rutgers. So I think that was a big thing. And I just like the atmosphere here. It's exciting. Not big city, but a bigger school, cool city, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, and big conference too. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
as big as it gets, it may not be the SEC or ACC in baseball, but it's pretty darn good now with some of the newer teams, including Rutgers.
Yeah.
And pretty good at every sport.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Power Five conference. Another big reason why I wanted to play there. Good competition. Get to see some of the best players in the country.
You mentioned Eric was a former North Brunswick ace, like you are now.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where the connection came in. Now, did you know him you known him for a while before?
Yeah, I knew him through high school. My brother actually caught him for 2 years in high school. So I knew him from there. I knew the parents, the family, great people and great people to talk to that to relate to Rutgers, which was also a big reason for my commitment there.
And pretty cool. Eric's now started his own coaching career, right?
Yeah. He's still at the warehouse too. I see him every so often, but he started at Rutgers Newark. So it's really cool to see him from where he started, where he is now, and just it's a big build up for him. So I'm excited for him as well.
Definitely. Now you mentioned baseball warehouse. That's been a big part of your growth as a player, both physically and mentally, baseball wise. Why don't you tell us what they've meant to you when you started with them, and like I said, what they've meant to you in your journey?
Yeah, I mean, they've done a whole lot for me. I started working out, I think when I was 9 or 10 years old, we started the first program. I worked solely up into the gym, into the bigger program that I am in now. I started lessons when I was 7 or 8, and I've been watching my brother work out since I was like 4. So I've been there pretty much my whole life, and they've got a great program. It started, there's pictures on their Instagram if you go follow them. where they started to where they are now. It's just a huge, huge difference. You say Baseball Warehouse, and now you hear people say, "Oh yeah, I know that place." So they've done a huge help for me, all my coaches. And another thing they praise there is we build players and we also build young men. And I feel like they've built me outside of the baseball field, which has been nothing that I will never take for granted.
Yeah. Now, before you were a star, before you were a Power Five verbal commitment, high school star, you were also kind of a tag along too when you started, right? I mean, not in a negative way, obviously. Certainly, let's shout out your brother,
Yeah, yeah.
and his college journey, and what having that role model a few years ahead of you meant to you.
Yeah, my brother's a huge part of my baseball career. I mean, my brother,
Victor, right?
Victor, yes, Victor, yeah. He started playing baseball at 7 years old, and my parents really knew nothing. And my dad watched baseball, and my mom watched baseball a little bit too, but they didn't know um, the whole mechanics and who to go to at the time for baseball because we had just moved to New Jersey from Brooklyn. So he was 7 years old. He's like, Mom, Dad, I want to play baseball. So ever since I was born, about a year later after he started playing baseball, I had a baseball bat in my hand. We were playing catch. Everything happened. So since day one, he's been my start of my baseball career. And then I've been so lucky to see him play through high school and college, just to see the people he's been around, the baseball, the atmosphere, and I fell in love with it. And I said I want to do the same thing. So he's been a huge help, and hopefully continue to be.
Yeah. Now he is 6 years older.
He's 8.5 years older than me.
Okay. See, my
Yeah.
that tells you all you need to know about my math skills. That I couldn't do that. Now, St. John Fisher is where he played.
Yeah, he went to St. John Fisher in Rochester, New York.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice warm weather school, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Makes
Nice and bitter.
makes New Brunswick seem like Florida, pretty much.
That's for sure. Yeah, the snow up there is nothing compared to what it is here.
That's right. That's right. Now, let's talk about North Brunswick High School. You've got 2 years left. A lot of guys we're talking to are kind of in their last year, so it's like, yeah, we've got this thing kind of looming here, Rutgers, which is amazing and awesome and all that, but you certainly can't, you can't look 2 years into the future like that. You still got to
Yeah.
be day to day. And what are you focused on this winter to improve upon, and what are you looking for out of your junior year of high school?
Improving on all around. Specifically, I wanted to develop a better breaking ball for me specifically. I've only been throwing it for about 2 to 3 years, but my changeup's been my pitch, and my fastball's always been on point. Knock on wood. But yeah, my slider, curveball. I want to perfect the breaking ball throw wherever I can, and getting stronger, hitting wise as well. But as a team, I think we have a big year ahead of us. We fell short in the semifinals of GMCs. It kind of bites at me every single day. So that's been my motivation, just to win the chip this year. And then states too, we lost in the quarterfinals. So that's also another thing that's been biting at me to accomplish for next year. But I think we've got a lot of cool things and exciting things to happen ahead, and I'm excited.
Now, GMC's always had a reputation of being a pitching conference,
Yeah.
pitchers first. Um, who are some of the guys that you remember watching when you were little Zach or younger Zach, kind of, and were you kind of always thought like, oh, it's gonna be pretty cool when I'm older and I can be like them?
The one guy from North Brunswick was a lefty pitcher named Placido Torres. I haven't seen him in forever. I don't know where he is right now, but he was a lefty pitcher. He threw mid to high 80s, and he shut down the GMC. And one of the guys I looked up to as a 4, 5, 6 year old kid, and I was like, oh, I want to be the next him. And then Eric Reardon also did the same thing, GMC Player of the Year, and it just kept building up. And I wanted to be the next guy to represent North Brunswick in the GMC. So here we are.
Yep, yep. Now to do it, you got St. Joe's among others. You've got
Yeah.
your buddy Jackson Appleman and Edison. It's going to be a fun year, isn't it?
Oh yeah, a lot of competition, and I just gotta show them who's gonna be at the top.
Absolutely. We are talking with ZACK Konstantinovsky here, headed to or part of the great 2023 recruiting class, kind of on the board here in the verbal stage at Rutgers. Do you talk to those guys a lot? How well connected are you with the guys in that class?
Yeah, we have a group chat on Snapchat. We talk every once in a while when it comes up. I saw a couple of them throughout the summer at some tournaments. I got to meet them, but yeah, that's a great group of guys that I've talked to so far. It's exciting. I'm just excited to get on the baseball field with them and be able to finally do what we're supposed to do on the field and off the field.
Yeah, now COVID has kind of made things weird high school wise for a lot of people. It was kind of last year was obviously a big year for you, high school wise, but was it strange? Like you had already committed to playing, for Rutgers, for playing for a P5 school before you had really pitched it a varsity
Yeah,
game, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of strange.
it is very strange. I mean, when I first starting to get into the whole recruiting process, I was right finishing my eighth grade year, and comparing it to my brother's recruiting process, it was so much different because he started or it happened a while ago. And my dad had gone through it already with him, and he turned to me and my coach was like, "What do you mean eighth grade? This is ridiculous. It's way too early."
Right.
And at the time, it seemed like it was ridiculous. Like, what are we doing? But honestly, I felt like it was the right thing to do. Everyone was doing it. I felt like I needed to get ahead as well. And it sounded really crazy. I mean, honestly, Rutgers saw me throw 20 pitches in a camp in November when I had just finished my throwing when I was almost to shut down. And after that, they saw me all virtual. And they felt confident. I felt confident to commit there, and it was all surreal. But now at this point, I just have to prove to them, prove to myself that that's where I belong, and I can play at that conference. And so far, I think I've done that. So it was crazy, but all
Yeah.
happens for a reason.
One of the things that people have said about you and your game is just that ability to repeat your mechanics so cleanly. Is that something that was stressed at a young age? Was that something that was just kind of natural for you?
I mean, one of the things that our coaches stressed was to try to make this little things muscle memory. So one of the things that we always do is just pitch in front of a mirror, go through your motion in front of a mirror, see what you're doing wrong. And at a certain point, it'll be muscle memory. You'll know what you're doing wrong when you feel it, like I gotta fix that.
Hmm.
So I think my mechanics have just allowed me to focus on specifically pitches and the more of the little things that help my game and bring it to the next level.
Yeah, kind of executing certain things
Yeah,
outwardly rather than worry where your body is, right? You got
yeah,
that good sense
absolutely.
of where everything is. Um, let's hit you with some random questions here.
Sure.
Um, Favorite place you have played?
Favorite place I have played. Somerset Patriots Park was pretty cool. I got to play there. Pitching at Rutgers was cool, although I wasn't able to pitch with some metal cleats, but hopefully
Yeah,
next time I'll be able to pitch with some metal cleats. But Rutgers is awesome. I love the field there. I haven't played at too many big places. Somerset Patriots was cool because I got to play there various times. I got to play there with my travel team as a 12-year-old. So we made that into a 50-70 field, which was pretty awesome. The field's down in Ripken at Maryland. The minor
mhm,
league stadium there was really nice. Yeah, so I think between Somerset and then the minor league stadium in Maryland, that was pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Go to meal either pre or post game on your bump days.
Ooh, pre-game. Pre-game, always, I mean, in the morning, I'll have some eggs. So most of the games, my coach is straight in the morning. So early morning, some eggs, some toast, and maybe some like sausage or bacon. Get the protein in there, and then I always have to have a cup of coffee. That gets me going in the morning.
What's one thing that has to be part of your pregame routine on your start days?
Music, always music.
Which is good, but not. not specific enough for our viewers, I think. So what
All
kind
right.
of what when you're in charge of the playlist or you need music, where are we going?
I mean, every day I feel, or every pitching day, it's whenever I wake up, like I have different things. So maybe it's rap one day that'll get me going, or some rock, or some like really pumped up like dubstep or something like that. So those are the kind of like the three that I rotate.
Favorite part of North Brunswick High School baseball?
Um, the players, my coaching staff, and the want to win. So I think those are the three pillars.
Absolutely. Outside of family, who's been one person that's been incredibly instrumental to get you to where you are?
Outside of family. I'll go off my coach at the baseball warehouse that I've been for a while, Coach Joe Augustine. He's been there, my strength coach, my pitching coach, and then he's always been a friend off the field too, where I could just text him if I had a question. He's up 12:30 in the morning answering my questions, talking about baseball. So he's definitely been a great role model in my life.
Absolutely. Favorite school subject?
Math, math. I'm a math guy. So math and science. I like science too, but math takes it over for me.
Okay. Not an English guy, or just yes, but not as much.
I'm not an English guy. I couldn't. I mean, I read like articles and stuff, but reading books is not my forte. Let me tell you, not a thing I want to do for my free time.
One phone app that you couldn't do without.
Twitter. I'm always on Twitter checking sports. Twitter's been a big thing ever since because going to showcases, they always ask for Twitter handle because Twitter's a big thing to communicate with coaches nowadays. So
Hmm?
I'm always on there.
One piece of advice that you've gotten along the way that really kind of sticks with you.
The best one of the best quotes I've heard is, let me think of it. It's not the players who are good will do what they need to do when someone's watching them, and the players who are great will do what they need to do when someone's watching him or someone's not. And I
Yeah,
felt like that's stuck in my mind, and I've always rolled or oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Praised by it or looked by it, and always had that in the back of my mind whenever I'm doing something.
definitely. What's one thing we don't know about Zach?
Um, I played the saxophone in middle school.
Perfect. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, were you good? What? How did you get into it?
I mean, I've always been into music a little bit. So my brother played a little bit. He played the violin in middle school too. And I was just like, it was one of my hobbies that I wanted to join. So I played the saxophone in middle school, and then I played my freshman year, and then I was like, this is the end for me. So I dropped. I mean, I was okay. I wasn't the best. Definitely wasn't the worst. I mean, I like practicing it, but it was all right.
I feel like with anything, like you get to a point where if you're gonna do it, you got to really do it, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
taking away time for something else that you probably like more.
Yeah, that was the problem. I was doing it freshman year, and it took as much time as I did in middle school was like double the time in high school. And I was like, I have no time for baseball or school at this point. I need to do something else. So
Yeah. Who was
freshman
the,
year was
be-
the last year.
who was the better musician, you or Victor?
Uh, Honestly, I couldn't tell you because I had no idea what he was like in middle
That's
school.
true. That's true. You were a little young
Yeah,
when he
I
was in
was too
middle
young,
school.
but we both have some musical attributes.
Toughest hitter that you've had to face?
Toughest hitter that I've had to face. I faced Andrew Fisher at the area code tryout, and it was in a rotation where I was like the fifth or fourth pitcher going. So he already had a couple of bats, but I mean I'm not making excuses here. He saw the first pitch, my first batter. He smashed the fastball right off of me. So I mean, I guess I want my rematch against him hopefully soon somewhere. But yeah, I say he's my toughest hitter.
Yeah. Well, at least it's a good one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Um, what makes New Jersey baseball so great?
I'd say that New Jersey is like it's small, and it's so many people that we can all relate to each other because there's so many people in a small space that kind of all like it's the town. You could say New Jersey is the state where everybody knows each other type thing. So I think a lot of baseball players can relate to each other, and baseball is one of the things that we always kind of build our life around.
We appreciate the time, Zach. Best of luck to you. Obviously, the last 2 years of high school. Let's be the next Eric Reardon.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's run the GMC a little bit, and then we take it to Rutgers and we start winning. We start winning in state at the college level.
Absolutely, that's the goal.
Excellent. ZACK Konstantinovsky is our guest. This episode of Jersey Baseball Show, Generation Next 2.0. We appreciate you all watching and look forward to seeing you next time.